Welcome everybody. Thank you very much for being here today. My name is Cameron and this is my ESH351 science demonstration of the phenomenon that is inertia. Now, before we get too far into what inertia is, I think it's very important that we discuss or have an understanding of what Sir Isaac Newton's first law of motion is. Okay, I'll pop this up here just so everyone can see. Newton's first law of motion is, as you can see, an object at rest or in motion will not change its state of rest or motion unless a force acts upon it. Now, to visualise and gain a greater understanding of that, let me just demonstrate one little thing. This object, obviously the glass, is at rest. It's not moving, it's not going anywhere. Do you see that? Yep. Okay. The only way that that can be changed is by applying a force to this glass, by pushing or by pulling. Otherwise, it will stay at rest. You understand that? You with me? Excellent. Now, that was at rest. This is in motion. This glass is in motion. The only way that can be stopped or altered is by putting a force upon the glass, by stopping it. Okay? Now, inertia interrelates exactly with Newton's first law of motion. Inertia in itself, I'll put it just here, is a tendency to resist change of motion. Meaning, as something is moving, the inertia of the object moves with it. It also means that all objects possess inertia. So, Lachlan, you have inertia. This glass has inertia. This very big brick in the middle of the table has inertia. But we'll get to that brick very, very shortly. Okay? All objects possess inertia. Now, let me just show a short little demonstration of inertia. Firstly, my trusty glass once more. Ace of spades, lovely card. Goes on top of the glass. I have a 20-cent coin, could be any coin that you could possibly think of. Will go on top of the glass as well. Now, Fletcher, I'm not going to pick on you, but if I was to flick this card, what do you think is going to happen to the coin on top?
Maybe go in.
Maybe go in? Why do you think maybe it'd go in?
Because or it could go out because maybe because it flick it off.
Yeah, it might fall off. It might fall off. What else do you think, Charles?
I think it's going to go in because you're just moving the card.
Aha! Very clever girl, very clever. It also helped that we discussed this a little bit earlier. So, let me just demonstrate to you the phenomenon of inertia. I'm going to flick this card. Fletcher, please not try and catch it in your mouth. Okay? And let's see what happens. Let's flick it properly without missing it. There we go. So, I applied a force to the card. Okay? I didn't apply a force to the actual coin that was on top of the card. So, obviously, the only way that that coin on top is going to move is if I apply a force to it, which is exactly the same as what we demonstrated earlier with the cup. Okay? The coin stays in its place, stays still, whereas I apply the force to the card, moving the card, and the coin dropping into the glass. Okay? Now, Who can tell me, put your hand up if you've ever been on a school bus before. You've all been on a school bus before. Exactly right, exactly right. Now, put your hand up if you've been on a school bus that has a crazy bus driver. Okay, you probably shouldn't have put your hands up like that, but that's okay. Now, can you remember driving along on the bus and all of a sudden the bus stops really quickly? What happens to your body when the bus stops? Can you think, Lockie?
Well, your body goes forward and then your body goes back.
Why does your body go forward and your body go back?
Because the bus has stopped and the force pushes you forward, and then when it comes back, when it drives off, you move back.
Right, very good, very interesting. Okay, now this next demonstration is going to show you exactly what you've just described on the bus. But for this I need a trusty assistant who is my man Humpty. Now, if we can zoom in a little bit there. Some of you might not know, but Humpty Dumpty has come back to life. And not only is Humpty Dumpty back to life, he's a very snappy dresser. He has his lovely stack hat on because Humpty has a very sad experience every time he goes out. He always falls over and cracks for some reason. I'm not too sure about the green checkered shorts, but anyway, not to worry. Also, Humpty is an extreme sportsman. In his spare time, he likes monster trucking. So, let's just see what happens to Humpty as he travels down very well named Humpty's Heartbreak Hill. Here we go. I will set him in motion. As it's going downhill, which way is Humpty going to travel? Down the hill. Unfortunately, there's a big brick wall in front of him. I think you know what could happen. Okay, let's have a look and see what happens to Humpty as he travels down the hill. Bye-bye, Humpty. Oh, no. Not only have I brought Humpty back to life, but I've invented a disappearing Humpty.
Where is he?
Let's have a look.
Where is he?
Oh, Humpty.
He's safe.
He's a little bit worse for wear. He's got a very bruised bottom.
Do it again.
But why did Humpty fall out of the truck? Chels.
Because the truck was moving at a speed, then it stopped, and Humpty was kind of pushed back, like with all the force, and fell into the hole.
Was he pushed back?
Or forward, sorry.
He went forward. So he kept going forwards, didn't he? Because there was nothing to stop him. The force was applied to the truck. So Humpty's come down, poor Humpty. He's hit the wall, the truck stopped, but Humpty kept going. What sort of things do we have in cars to stop that from happening? Fletch?
Seatbelts.
Seatbelts. Excellent. Good job. So now, hopefully you understand not only Newton's first law of motion, but you also understand the properties of inertia as well. Okay? Thank you very much for joining me, guys. We'll discuss this further for the rest of the lesson. Excellent. Thank you very much.
On behalf